Greetings, everybody. This is Leviathan here, and you can see fresh cut. You know what that means. Season 22 is so close. I always get my traditional cut before the season starts because it means we mean business. And I wanted to just give you guys a quick rundown of what my plans will be for season 22. And I ran out of time, unfortunately, this week. I did want to get a couple more videos out to the channel, so I do apologize for not getting all the sweet infos out that I wanted to. But I'll try to include a little bit of that in here too, along with my plans, since they kind of coalesce together. So first things first, for season 22, I plan to play 100% solo, so no grouping at all, the whole season through. I do plan to play from day one till the last day of the season. Probably some breaks in there maybe, because you want to avoid the burnout, so sometimes you just need to work in those extra downtimes to just make it feel less arduous. And I'm going to be doing hardcore. And my plan is to mostly play Demon Hunter. That's what I'm starting with. I'm really tempted by the Crusader because I used to love Bombardment back in the day. So I might want to get that going as well. But I don't foresee myself, like, it's a potential kind of thing because it's going to be hard to gear unless you're playing on it. But I do feel like for my goals, which I'm about to outline, the best thing that I can do is play on the Demon Hunter pretty much non-stop because it's going to be an insanely good speed farmer in the Greater Rifts. And I have some ambitious goals. What those goals are is to get to Paragon 5000 solo hardcore. And you're probably saying, that's actually insane. There's no way you can do it. And I welcome that. That's fine. I hope you believe in me, but if you don't, that's okay because I also get fueled by the non-believers. The reason why I feel like this is possible is that in season 20, which was my by far most successful solo season, I got to Paragon 4045. And that was in a meta where the speed farming was good, but it's actually not nearly as good as it can be now for solo. So I did Monk POJ back then, and that was my main farmer. I also switched into it relatively later into the season than I could have if I did it from day one. So my thought process is that I know better now in terms of focusing purely from the get-go of if I have a Paragon goal, boom, I'm going to try and go for it right out the gate with the best possible farming circumstances for that. But also, coronavirus is real, guys. Like, the lockdown thing seems like it's going to be coming back pretty hard. Multiple people at my work have gotten coronavirus, sadly. And it just means, like, I don't foresee that we'll be in the office. I foresee a lot of work from home days, which means my commute is basically cut down. It means I can sneak in some Diablo time for lunch breaks and stuff like that too. So I think I'll just have a lot of available time to play Diablo 3 more than I might in a normal season with a full-time job. As such, I think I can hit the amount of hours I would need per day on an average throughout the season to get to 5K. So it's ambitious. I hope I can do it. I'm setting it as a goal, and you want to come and join that adventure to see exactly how close to it or, you know, how far beyond it we might get. The other goal, because what are you going to do with all that Paragon, is to try and get a high rank. I personally would love, I have never gotten an end of season rank 1. I've been rank 1 multiple times. I've ended seasons at rank 2, so close. Rank 3, all in the top 5 many times. So I would love to get a rank 1. It's hard to do, especially when you're playing solo. You are fighting against groups, and groups are going to be way more efficient. They'll have higher level gems, better augments, all that good stuff. So I understand that, and that's why it's an aspirational goal. And I feel like if I just set it, it'll at least help motivate me to try and go as hard as I possibly can and maybe get there. So that is, those are the two main things. And as far as how I'm going to be doing this all, like I mentioned, pure speed farming on the Demon Hunter. When it comes to SSF, the most important things that you want to do are get into a mode and a speed farm setup where you have efficiency on your side. So that means very little time in town. Like, town is lava. The more time you spend in town, the less time you're getting experience, killing things, getting better items. And for hardcore in particular, I want to find separation between my gear. So the nice thing about GOD is that you can do it, you can use that set for everything. However, you don't want to always be risking really good stuff. So I want to get to a point during the season where my pushing gear is completely separate. And then I have my speed farm gear, which is going to be probably comparable, especially after a long amount of time just getting tons and tons of backup gear. And then almost like a whole different set of gear for T16. because we're going to want to min-max for like gold find and things like that, so you can keep empowering the greater rifts and keep getting more gem ups, so you can get more augments and more 1% chances to get your gems. It's kind of one of the ways you can catch up to groups with gem levels, at least, is take advantage of the 1%. So, you know, there's those sort of considerations. So I want to make sure I have maybe multiple demon hunters, multiple sets of gear, really try to separate that out. That's something I definitely recommend, just so that you're not risking anything that you'll potentially hate to lose. Same goes for gems too. I'll probably have multiple backup sets of gems and things like that, so that I'm not risking my highest level gems on mediocre or trivial content. As far as the beginning of the season conquests, I do like the conquests a lot. I usually try to go for them. It's, again, a lot harder to get a super high ranking or a rank 1 as solo, because groups will just get to 70 faster and therefore have a better advantage to hit the conquest sooner. But sometimes in the past, I've actually snuck right into the high rankings and even rank 1s as a solo player. So I think if you prioritize conquest, then you can actually do pretty well. So I've done videos on that stuff too. Check the video description for links that will be useful for the start of the season. Definitely recommend checking those out. And then as far as pushing goes for me, I do want to check in with it every now and again throughout the season, because it just breaks up the monotony of Paragon farming, to be perfectly honest with you. But I don't want to spend a lot of time pushing, because by the time I get to the end of the season, I'll be way stronger than I am at like week 1 or 2 or 3, right? So say I'm pushing like a 130 in the first week, and it's really difficult. That same push in week 8 will be way easier, because we have better gear, more Paragon, stuff like that. So I'm going to try some pushing just to get my gem levels higher and stuff like that. But the way I usually recommend it and do it is just to kind of weave it in if you like, but really save most of it until the very end, because you'll likely be at your safest for trying to, you know, push that envelope. And also just be able to get to where you need to get to a little less. It'll make the earlier GRs before your final push more trivial, because the thing with solo is that you can't really skip GRs unless you're going to clear super quick. Then you can unlock, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 levels above what you're doing. But for the most part in solo, sadly, if you do like a GR 130 and you clear it in like 12 minutes, then you got to do the 131, even though you might know I'm 140 capable or something. Just got to edge it up, because that's just the way the system works. And then staying motivated, avoiding burnout, like I was mentioning. Don't be afraid to take breaks. Motivation comes in the form of both long-term and short-term goals. So I feel like, you know, setting a certain amount of Paragon that you might want to get for the day can be really good. Say I want to get 100 today, and you just try to eke that out. Say you want to, you know, upgrade a certain piece of gear, so you're going to keep trying to do everything you can, gambling at Kadala with the blood shards, maybe upgrading rares in your cube, just whatever can help you get that done. It's kind of just a way to focus, right? Stay focused on what you want to do, and make sure that the long-term goals get taken care of by, in the short term, working towards them. Because usually if the long-term goal is too far away, it can be easy to just abandon or give up. So you want to have something in the middle there, in the in-between time, to keep you going. And then I guess don't be afraid to like transfer out too. If you do SSF and you start with it, you had a blast, and then your friends are, you know, still playing, maybe you want to group with them. So you can always just SSF for like a month and a half or something. I'm going to do it the full time, but I guess my recommendation is that if you do enjoy SSF, don't feel like you have to be locked into it the whole time too. You can always decide to just do it for a little bit and then go to groups. That's perfectly fine. And then you can just benchmark, like, this is what I did pure solo, and then after that, everything else is, you know, with that group tag or whatever. And as far as like classes, like I mentioned, I'm playing Demon Hunter, but you might want to set your goals based around which class you're going to pick, and the Hadrix gifts and all that. Hadrix gifts for every class are really good this time around, except maybe the Wizard, but even that's pretty capable. So I think you can't really go wrong based on which class you enjoy. So pick whatever you kind of want to get your best attempts at. If your goals are to get to high GRs with a certain class, you probably want to start with it just to keep the gear rolling in initially as fast as possible. But you can also decide, maybe I don't like the speed farm for the one class, so I'll start with a different class and then use that to gear up a second class. We talked about a lot of tips on stuff like this in the Dankshray podcast that we just did earlier this week. There'll be a link to that in the video description as well. So definitely watch that, and you can pick up some other tips on just stuff to consider for SSF. And I didn't want this video to be too long, but I just want to generate some hype because I am excited this tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern is when I'll go live with my stream. That'll be 1 hour before the season starts. We'll just get congregated, get settled, and then get going. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know if you have any just last burning questions. Put them in the comment section. Just let me know your general hype, your feelings for the season. I want to see everybody. Make sure you follow the stream, twitch.tv/Leviathan111. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming in Season 22, so don't miss out on any of it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Adios for now.